Flosstube, it's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche back for another video. I said I was going to do these more often, but it seems like every time I say that, it gets farther and farther between my videos. So sorry about that. August was very busy, but I had a lot of fun. So I've got a lot to share about that. Today is Labor Day. It's September 3rd, which is my grandparents' 101 wedding anniversary. So, of course, both of them have just been deceased for some time, but they got married on September 3rd, 1917, which is crazy. My grandmother was only 14 years old. It is what it is. Today's their 101st wedding anniversary. Today's also one of my very close cousins. I say that, but we don't talk as much as we used to. We spent every summer together when we were between the ages of probably 7 and 18. But we both have very busy lives. But today's her birthday, so happy birthday, Lisa. I don't think she even knows I do these videos, but at least that's going out to her. Happy birthday, Lisa. She's older than me, so haha. So today's September 3rd. I have quite a bit to share with you. I have been busy stitching, I have been busy shopping, I have been busy crafting, and I have actually done some finishing. So my puppy just showed up. That's what I'm doing over here. Hold on, she wants to visit. Come on, hop up, come on, come on. Jump, jump, jump. All right, look, say hey, Sally, Sally. Look, no, there. This is Sally, she's our princess. She's been on other videos. No kisses in the face. All right, that's enough. You can get down now. Okay, thank you. Ooh. So, all right, go lie down. Go find Patrick. Okay. So, all right. She's gonna stay here. So I have lots to share with you. When I recorded my last video, I was preparing to leave for the world's longest yard sale that starts in Alabama. Gadsden, Alabama, and makes its way up to, I think, Michigan. My older son, Patrick, and I spent 2 days doing that, and we had the best time. So I have some things to share about our yard sale and that trip. The next weekend, I attended another Katrina Boyd retreat in Marietta, Georgia, with my sisters and our friend Lisha, and that was so much fun. I got to meet so many different people. Let's see. And then I had about 2 weeks before the semester started. So our semester has begun. I'm back at work teaching. Our classes actually started August 29th. So we start late. We have a different schedule. We're teaching hour-and-a-half classes twice a week. So it's going to take some time for the students to get used to it and for me to get used to it as well. Especially taking the summer off. I probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have taught in the summer so that teaching in this new schedule wouldn't be such a jump. But, you know, it is what it is. Fortunately, we have a shorter semester, so I'm already counting down. Like, we have 23 more class meetings. But, so we've got the semester's in swing. They've had their first home ball game, and apparently we won. I don't go to the games, but my son works at the bookstore. My younger son, Nicholas, and he was there. He worked the game, and we won big time, like 50-something to 7. So SMTTT. So that's in full swing. One thing I do want to mention with that schedule, I'm in class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or in meetings from essentially, I leave my house at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't get home until 7:30 at night. So if I have any orders that are placed Monday night at my shop, I probably won't mail those until Wednesday. I like to have things shipped within a reasonable amount of time. Usually I like to get them packed and out as quick as possible. But with this new schedule, there's just no time for me to come home and pack orders and get them to the post office. So just be patient with me on those late Monday night orders. Tuesday, Thursdays, orders, I'll be able to pack those and get those out because my first class on Mondays and Wednesdays don't start until like almost 10 o'clock, and then we don't have classes on Friday. And I've scheduled everything to have my Fridays as free as possible. So I love that. So let's see what else life updates. It's just been crazy. My chickens are doing well. Um, I've said this before. I grew up on a chicken farm. And if you would have asked 18-year-old Jen, are you going to decorate with chickens in your house? I would have been like, absolutely not. I don't like chickens. They stink. They've been, everything, our house has been revolving around chickens. Our vacations revolved around chickens. It was always something. There have been times, and my brothers will dispute this, where we would have to spend, late into the night dealing with chickens. So, I'm like, absolutely not. I don't want to have anything to do with chickens. But now you can see, there it is. We decorate with chickens now and have chickens. Because once you get to know a chicken more personally, they're actually kind of cute. My chickens are doing great. I will actually insert a video of the chickens at the end of this video. My rooster, which I was going to get rid of, has become my favorite. His name is Rooster Cockburn. If you understand that, I'm happy. But he's very sweet for a rooster. He's not aggressive. We had chickens about 3 years ago, and one of my colleagues had got chickens for his kids for Easter, and he had to get rid of them after they grow up right. 3 of the 4 were roosters, and 2 of those 3 roosters were the meanest roosters. We had to get rid of them. So this guy is really sweet. He takes very good care of all those girls. So I'll insert a video of the roosters and all the chickens later. I guess I'll get into the discussion of all of the fun that I've had this past month. So I'll start with the world's longest yard sale. So Patrick and I left on a Thursday, and we drove to Gadsden, Alabama, so we could get up early on Friday and start our adventure and our scavenger hunt. Ugh. And we drove from Gadsden up towards Chattanooga, Tennessee. We made it to about Fort Payne before we were just too exhausted, and we didn't do too much shopping after we left Fort Payne and just drove into Chattanooga. We found some really cool things that day, though, and I've got some things to show. One of the neatest things that we found on our trip was a Flosstuber, or someone affiliated with a Flosstuber. We were shopping, and I passed this guy, and I'm like, I think I know who that is. And it was Jimmy Flosstube. I wasn't sure, and I'm very shy, so I'm like, oh, you probably just don't be weird. So I didn't say anything except to my son. I'm like, that was Jimmy Flosstube. That's so cool. And about an hour later, we were at another place about, down the road, and there he was again. And I'm like, okay, you're going to have to say something. And I walked up to him, and I said, hey, are you Johnny Flosstube? And he's like, Jimmy Flosstube. And I'm like, that's what I said. I didn't say that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. But I don't know why I said Johnny Flosstube, other than the fact that I was very nervous. So, Jim, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But we talked for a little bit. He was out shopping. He said he found some really cool things. And Emily's actually shown some of the things he found on his scavenger hunt. And he talked to me, and he talked to my son, and he was very nice. He's a nice guy. Of course, we know he's a nice guy. Emily talks about how sweet he is, and it's obvious that he's a good guy. So it was really exciting to meet a celebrity, and he was very forgiving that some weird old lady called him by the wrong name. So hey, Jim, hey, Emily. It was really cool meeting Jim. And then I got a text message a little bit later from Emily saying that he had let her know that we'd run into each other. Of course, I didn't take a picture. I didn't want to be that kind of fan. So we all know what Jimmy Flosstube looks like. But other than that, I did find some really cool items. So one is, you can see right over my shoulder, I came across one of these kind of antique dealers. So on the world's longest yard sale, it's on this state road that turns into another state road as you move into different states. So it runs all the way up through Michigan. And people that live on that will set up yard sales along the way. But it became so popular that other people would rent spaces and bring items and set up. So it can be, just typical yard selling stuff. clothes and housewares, or it can be antiques. It just depends on which place you stop. So there was this one antique dealer that had set up shop on the side of the highway, and he had a huge tent full of all kinds of really neat things. Not all of them antiques, a lot of things to look like antiques. But when I was looking around his shop and trying to decide which things I could not live without, this was one of them. So he had several of these old kitchen scales. And he and I were talking about it, and he said that that's like one of the big things right now to sell in antique shops and thrift stores are these old scales. So he had 3 and I bought 2. So that's one. That one's kind of a green color. It's probably, I don't know, dated from the 50s, but I have it set up here in my dining room. By the way, I'm in a new spot. This is my dining room that we don't use because my older son uses this as his office space, but I borrowed it today. And then there's another one that I picked up that I keep in my kitchen that's even older, and it's this one. So, a la Priscilla and Chelsea. But it's one of those things that I can remember my grandmother had one of these, and my mom has one similar to that don't look quite as old and crusty. But I was excited to get those. And at the same place, he had a bunch of the kind of different items from factories that manufacture linens and fabrics. So he had some weaving materials, and then he had these types of little spools. He said these are called quills. So I got several of these just to decorate with. So that was one of my favorite finds. Also, on our way up to Gadsden, we stopped at a thrift store in Mississippi, and in one of the little buckets, they're like, these are 30 cents a piece. So I bought I'll just show you the whole lot, a whole bunch of wooden spools for 30 cents a piece. And the lady that was working the desk, she's like, I can't believe they have those priced at that amount. You're getting a really good deal. I'm like, I know. And she and I talked because she actually owned a frame shop, and she and I were talking about the fact that cross stitch, she's like, oh, I wish people would cross stitch. I'm like, they do. It's really popular again. People love to cross stitch. We just don't know that other people are doing this. And she points across the shop, and there's this huge framed Home Sweet Home that was probably stitched on maybe 12 count, 8 of something. It was 10 count. It was really big. And she said, I remember framing that years ago. She said, that cost an arm and a leg for that person to frame that. And it just breaks my heart to see it in here marked for like $10. And it's like, yeah, it was, that typical blue and, country blue and pink color just at Home Sweet Home with this beautiful double mat. Someone will pick it up because that's retro is in. And that's retro now. Let's see, what else did I pick up? To continue my chicken obsession, I found these little, I'll show you one. These little cookie cutters. And I had 2 of them. I don't think these are old. I think they're just supposed to look old because when you look at them, So I picked up a couple of those for 10 cents a piece. The other thing, I love cast iron animals. I buy them at Tuesday morning usually, but if I find them, I pick them up. And I found a bunch of cast iron items. One of my favorites was this napkin holder with a rooster. And I also found a fish napkin holder, which is my organism of choice. This is what got me interested in biology, is fish. Because I love fish. And then the other thing that I collect, which I collect a lot of stuff, are these trivets for the old irons, the old cast iron irons. So I picked this one up, and then I picked up a couple of them that aren't, these aren't old, they're just made to look old. And I just leave these around my kitchen, so I have little trivets. I've got several that I've picked up along the way. All right, I think that's all of my kind of antique things that I picked up. But my last thing I want to show is pretty exciting. I was at one place, and it had been raining, and it was on Saturday, and people were getting ready to kind of bail. And I found this one place that had some old cross stitch kits, and I was looking through it, and I found a little Mill Hill kit. I think it was an Easter heart type thing, and it was really cute. And the lady said, "You like cross stitch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love cross stitch." She said, "Well, look at this." She was sorting through this box, and it was DMC, and she's like, "You can have the whole thing, all of this, and your kit over there for $5." So this is what I was able to purchase for $5. It's kind of grungy looking, but, and I've counted those. It's over 100 skeins, and there's some. Here's the Mill Hill kit with a dangling DMC, but there's a lot of DMC. There's some pearl cottons, and then there's this JP Coates stuff that I can use for something, and then there's even some in the floss away bags. So I got all of that for $5, which is exciting now that we know that DMC is going up to almost $1 a skein. I don't know if you've heard that, but yes, I got an email from someone yesterday that said that soon we won't be able to purchase it for less than 50 cents a skein, well, 56 cents a skein, which is sad. I've probably mentioned this before, but my mother and I used to go to this, it was a salvage store. They would get stock from different shops that had damage or something, and we could buy DMC at that time for a penny a skein. Back in the day when I was younger, but even then that was cheap. So I really have more DMC than I need, but you can't pass something up like that, $5. We also stopped at shops that weren't the garage sale. I love Tuesday morning, so a couple of things that I picked up on Tuesday morning included these magnets with birds on them, which I love. These were $6 for a pack of, what is that, 12? And they have the black magnet on the back, but you know, you could use these for needle minders if you wanted to alter them. I'm going to put them on my project board upstairs in my craft room because I think they're beautiful. And I also picked up this. So, it was $21.99. I'm hoping that's a good deal. So if you haven't watched some of the videos that are out there with the what do they call it? These are called jelly rolls. Jelly roll rug, where you take these strips and you make a rug out of them. It looks very similar to the braided rug that another Flosstuber has shown. If I can find a video, I'll link it below of how they use this to make a rug, but I'm obsessed now and I want to make a rug. So I bought this, and that's one of my many projects that are on the list of things to do. So that was the world's longest yard sale. We had a fabulous time. Sunday we actually went to Ruby Falls, which I've been there multiple times, but I always love going there. And I'm going to insert a couple of pictures here of when Patrick and I were at Ruby Falls. Some really good pictures that I have on my phone. So I'll insert those here. And one last thing about the yard sale. One of the things I love. Now, I drive an F-150. I'm a farm girl. So I took my F-150 on the trip, and I got to drive that thing up and down those little mountain roads, which was so much fun. I love to drive, and that was exciting. We drove up and down the mountains throughout parts of our trip, so we had a good time. The next weekend, we went to Marietta and attended a retreat. So it was my sister Sharon, my sister Bridget, and our friend Lisha. And Sharon, my sister Sharon, actually is doing Flosstube videos now. She just released her second one, so I will link her Flosstube channel below. I think she goes by Clarky's Projects or Clarky's Crafts. I'll put it here and I'll link it below. She's really crafty. She does all kinds of things. And she was on a video of mine a couple of videos back. I see my little curls sticking out. It's distracting me. I want to be pretty. So we all went to the retreat, and we love Katrina. She's our long lost sister, is what we joke about, because when we get together with Katrina, it's like we've known her our whole life. We have very similar sense of humor, very similar backgrounds, but she's amazing. So we love going to Katrina's retreats. This one was a fun retreat as well because of who all were there. It was a large group, so large we were in 2 different rooms, but there were many Flosstubers there, and I won't be able to remember everybody, but the people that were sitting in the room with us included Megan, Stitching May. She sat right behind my sister, and she is hilarious. She was so funny and just so sweet, but we all know that she's sweet. She's one of the first Flosstubers. She's one of the first people to get this whole thing going, my understanding, and she's just a super sweet person, and we enjoyed visiting with her. She's funny. And then she had a couple of her friends there, and they were just a hoot. Sitting at her table was also another Flosstuber, Lori, Organic Granny. She's great. She's an amazing person. She tells it like it is, but she's my kind of person. And she was funny. I keep all of my fancy floss in a big basket. And when she saw it, she made a big deal about it and everything. She's so funny. Another lady, when she saw it, she was shopping through it. She thought it was part of Katrina's shop. She's like, I'm so sorry I was going through your basket. I'm like, it's no big deal. Let's see, who else was there? Lisa, the silver stitcher, was there. She's so pretty, and she has such a beautiful voice. If you haven't watched her video, you should watch hers. Her hair is gorgeous. My younger sister was sitting next to me, and she just kept leaning over and going, because Lisa was sitting in the far corner from us, and Bridget kept going, I hope my hair is that pretty when it turns gray. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, I know, it's her thing. She's a silver stitcher, but she has beautiful hair and a beautiful voice. I'm trying to think who else was there. Dina, of course, from Half Stitch Cross Stitch. She's so sweet, and her laugh's infectious. Yvonne was in a different room, but I went and visited with her a little bit, and she was finishing projects that weekend. She did better than everybody, but she was there, and she stitched several things. And sitting with her was Jessica, the schoolhouse stitcher, who is like my soul sister when it comes to finding those old charts. We like to find the same charts. So I got to meet Jessica for the first time, and I enjoyed that. Jessica's a really sweet girl, young lady, excuse me. And she's so funny. We're going to see each other again at the Minnesota retreat. Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but it was on this side. This little paw came up right at the end of that clip, and that was Sally telling me she needed attention. So I had to pause the video. Other people that I met at the retreat included Caroline Thomas, who is the host of the Hawk Run Hollow stitching group in Georgia. I've met her before at another one of Katrina's retreats, so it was really nice getting to visit with her again. And there were so many other ladies there that, if I list them all, it would take all of my video, but I was able to meet and visit with so many different lovely stitchers, which is the fun of the retreats. So ladies, thank you for being so gracious and being so sweet and kind and supportive. That's the other thing about the retreats, is we get so much support from our fellow stitchers. I enjoyed meeting and visiting with every person there. It was a good retreat. My only kind of thing is I wish we could have all been in the same room, because I was talking about the retreat and we had a great time. We're actually attending another retreat at the end of September in, where are we going? South Haven, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee. And we'll get to see a lot of people. I think Glenn is going to be there, so I'm excited to meet her in person. She's hilarious. Got to get some unicorns before we go. Candy corn. And I think her channel is Southern Stitcher. And we'll get to see, hopefully, Tangela again. Tangela is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. So hopefully she'll be there. And who else is going to be there? Mary. I don't think Mary's going to do Flosstube, but Mary is another biology faculty member. She teaches at a community college up near South Haven, Mississippi, or in that upper north area. And I met her at a retreat not too long ago, and she's super nice, super smart. I've talked about her before, and she's going to be there, so we'll get to catch up again. So I'm excited about that retreat. Plus, I get to see Katrina, and I just love Katrina. I think I say that every time I say her name, but she's really sweet. All right, let's get into some stitching. So I do have some finishes to show for the month of August. So a couple of things that I have finished. I did finish my word play, so that was one of my Year of Whips goals, was to finish the word play series. I had stitched 9 of the 12 before the beginning of 2018, and now I have the last 3 finished. Back in January, I finished December, so this is December. I know that's close, but the way I'm going to finish, that's fine. Up here at the top I'm talking about. So I just love these. These are so pretty. So I have December, and then I finished in August. I finished August. And I finished September, which I love this one. And on August and September, I did not use the called for threads. What I did is I wanted to substitute Victorian Motto sampler threads, which I have a lot of those now because I'm in the Floss of the Month Club. So the way I do that is I have a list that I printed off the internet from somewhere that is a conversion of sampler threads, General Arts sampler threads, and Weeks Dye Works threads to DMC. And the way I do these conversions is I look on that list. I find, like, if it is dried time, which is General Arts, I'll look it up on the list and I'll look at what the DMC number is, which I think is like 3011 DMC. Then I take and pull from my master set of DMC that skein or that color, and then I just put it next to the threads, my Victorian Motto threads, and match it up to the one that's closest. That's how I do it, and then I stitch with that. I do keep a notebook near me, and I make a list of those and kind of keep those going so that I don't have to do this every time. But this is the way I do my conversions when I want to convert. So I just find out what the equivalent is to DMC, pull the DMC, and then match it up with whatever threads I'm working with. And I think they look gorgeous. And Victorian Motto threads are great to stitch with. If you haven't stitched with them, they're amazing. So that's my September. I finished these on a little metal kind of plaque that I got years ago at Hobby Lobby. And it's hanging in our mudroom. So I just put that, it's at the back door of our house. Obviously, actually, I'll have to be honest, I haven't changed it out. The one that's hanging up there right now, I'm embarrassed to admit, is, I think it's June. It may even be May, because I have been horrible about changing those out. So I will fix the September one and hang it up, because this next week, I'm going to be decorating my house. I'm going to, center myself and dig deep and find my inner Priscilla, and I'm going to decorate my house. I've kind of started. She's such an inspiration, but it's going to be so pretty. I'm going to make my kids get all my decorations out of the attic too. Another finish that I am super, super happy to share. I'm going to put some other things over here that I'll share in a minute. I actually finished this just a couple of days ago. Dun, 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 dun. Isn't that beautiful? This is Grace Bridges by Stacy Nash. I have been working on this for almost 8 years, I think. Ridiculously long. But I finished that. When I was at the retreat, every time I stitched on that, I was stitching on that big yellow house. I love this. This is probably one of my absolute favorite things I've ever stitched. It is stitched in just a selection of limited edition General Arts threads. Again, this is charted for DMC. So what I would do is I'd pull the DMC and match it to the, I have a big collection of limited edition General Arts, and I just matched it to that. And some of those don't even have names, those General Art threads. But I am super happy with this. I'm going to get a frame for it this week, and I'm going to enter this in our state fair. I'm sorry, I just love it. I keep looking at it. And this is a Lakeside Linens. I think it's called Moonstone or something like that, but I've had it for a long time. There's the back. Not horrible, but, So that's a big accomplishment for me. I'm so happy about that. And then my last finish is actually an FFO. I finished this earlier in the month of August. Let's see. And this is a Cricut collection, Sleepy Hollow. So how can I do this? There we go. I'm going to pull it all the way back like that. There we go. So I went and got a frame for this about a week ago. And this is stitched on Blue Moon Java, which is an R&R, which I don't think is available anymore. But while I was at the retreat, I was actually stitching on this, and Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics was there as well. And she and I were talking about it, and I matched this fabric up to one of her fabrics, and I'm ordering that to get into my shop, but it'll probably be October before she'll have that dyed. So if you're interested in stitching this on a fabric that's similar to this, maybe not exactly, but similar to this, I'll have that fabric in the middle of October. And what I did is when I framed this, I stretched it on a piece of black foam core, and that's what gives it such a dark look. So there's not the white behind it that takes away from the night sky. I think it looks fabulous. And this frame is great too. So there it is. I'm so proud of it. I'm hoping to enter this in the state fair too, but we're limited to how many things we can enter. So I don't know. That's a pretty one. All right, and then I have one more FFO. This was not something that I finished in August. I've had this finished for a while, but I got it framed finally. And that is Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. This is stitched on 40 count light exemplar with the call for threads. And I love this. I'm so happy with that. So I can't wait. I probably will hang this up all year round. I have this chart in my shop, Jen's Stitching Niche. I have the Sleepy Hollow by Cricut collection in my shop. The Stacy Nash, I contacted Stacy and told her I was going to be featuring that, the Grace Bridges, on my video, and asked if I could get copies of it, and she said yes. So hopefully within the next week or so I should have copies of Grace Bridges as well as Martha Agnes, which is hard to find, in my shop. So if you're interested in those, just check out Jen's Stitching Niche, and I have the link below. So those are my FFOs. The other thing that I'm working on is I'm still trying to work on these projects that I've had for way too long. And one of those is Prairie Moon, Thine is the Trick in the Treat. And I know this chart is out of print. It's hard to find. I've already promised this to someone. So as soon as I finish it, it's going to its new home. The person that's getting it well deserves this. They're one of the most generous people I've seen on Flosstube. But anyway, I'll be sharing that or sending that to its new home as soon as I finish. And well, let me tell you the story about this at retreat. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Ancient by Picture This Plus, and I'm using black silk from Gloriana, India ink. And I had stitched all the top, and I had started on this lower corner here, and I ran out of floss. And I'm like, that's okay. Well, I didn't have any more of that floss. So that's okay. I'll order some more, because you can order Gloriana now through one of my distributors. I ordered it. It's out of stock. So I'm like, oh my goodness, how long is this going to take? So I just let the person know that's supposed to be getting this that it's going to be a while. I'm waiting for my floss to come in. And I was going through some of my other charts yesterday and found another skein of it's India ink, Gloriana. So here's my progress, which is quite a lot. That's what it looks like. So I just have 2 pages left to do. And I hope I don't run out of the India ink again. I'm getting close to the end of that skein, but it should be pretty well done soon. I really love this. And I have enough of this fabric to stitch the companion piece. Okay, so those are my FFOs. I was talking about this and then had 2 phone calls. So this is Thine is the Trick in the Treat, and I'm almost complete with that. I think this is beautiful. It's really neat. So I'm very fortunate to have purchased this chart back when it was first released, and I'm happy with that. So, okay. The other stitching I'm doing is 2 years ago, I did the crazy thing and decided I was going to start a new project every day for 100 days. And I did that. And I still have lots of those projects hanging about. So I decided, I started it August 31st in 2016. So I have my little binder where I have everything written down. And so for the next, now until December, I'm going to pull the project that I started that day and I'm going to stitch on it for that day. Fortunately, there's some that are missing. That makes me feel good. So I can focus on one of my really old whips to get those done. But I'm going to stitch for 1 hour on the project that I started that day 2 years ago. This gives me a chance to kind of look at these and see where I am and do I still love this project. But I mean, at this point, people always say, well, you switch up so much, you don't finish anything. I have 39 finishes this far this year. So, you know, I'm a fast stitcher and I do finish a lot of things. I just like the fact that I get to change them up a little bit. So hopefully I want to get to maybe 45 by the end of the year. That's my goal. Now my stitching haul, I don't have a lot of stitching haul because most of my shopping is for my online shop, my Etsy shop. But a lot of times the things that go in my Etsy shop are things that I like that I know I don't need to start because I have too many other whips. And so I'm going to share some of the things that I have for my shop now that I'm excited about. This is something I saw on someone's Flosstube video and I'm like, I need that. And my other part of my brain's like, no, you don't. You have 90 whips. You don't need to start anything new. I'm like, okay, well, I need it, so I'll put it in my shop. So this is one of them. That is a Biscornu, and it is absolutely fabulous. And while I was looking at Crosswing Collection, she has all these beautiful birds, and one of my favorite birds is a kingfisher, and she has this belted kingfisher. He looks like a cartoon character. And I see a kingfisher on my drive to work a lot. He is just as cute as this. He looks like a little cartoon character. So I got that to put in my shop. So eventually, maybe one day, I can stitch him as well. The newest hands-on design around the holidays is out. And I think the colors are great. So I have this as well as the pin set. One thing that she pointed out is in this picture, she has the pumpkin. But in the pin set, it's not a pumpkin, it's a posy. So if you order that and you don't get the pumpkin, just realize that that was a mistake on her part. And it comes with the velveteen, which is cute. So you can finish either the pillow or the, what does she call it, short stack. I think that's what she calls it. Another thing that I just am excited about is the bowl full of scaries from Plum Street, Scary 1. I'm going to stitch that one day. And then I've got the cow pile and the hen peck. Look at those chickens. And then one of my last videos, I showed my sampler book. And some people had contacted me asking if I had the chart pack on how to finish that. The sampler book was released by Erica Michaels back in 2006, 2007, I think, as part of a freebie set from Rainbow Gallery. If you are interested in that sampler book, you can go back a couple of videos and I show mine. I don't have it with me right now. But to finish it, you needed that chart pack from Erica Michaels. You had to purchase that separately. And so I contacted, because so many people contacted me about it, I contacted Linda from Erica Michaels and asked her about it. And she said that she would reprint it for us or for me to sell in my shop. So I did get a lot of copies of it and then sold out. So I contacted her and I'm like, hey, those are gone. Can I get some more? So I do have those in my shop. If you are interested, you can, search for Erica Michaels on my Etsy store and you'll see that chart pack. It is the finishing instructions and then the chart for the cover of the sampler book. I think I've contacted everybody who had contacted me through my Etsy shop. If you left comments below, comments on my previous videos, I probably didn't contact you back, but if you're interested in that, just go to my Etsy store, and I've got several of those still available. It's a great project. So when I ordered those from her, I also ordered her Scary Berries, which are so cute. There's the linen one. That's just the chart, and then there's the silk berry. And with Erica Michael's silk projects, she includes the silk gauze in them. So it's a little more expensive than the linen one, but that's because you get your required gauze. Some other things that I have are the Halloween house trio, and the patriotic house trio is also a new one. Do I have that one in here? No, I didn't bring that one in here, but this is a cute set, and I love waxing moon designs, so I'm going to stitch those. And oh, there it is, patriotic house trio. Aren't those cute? And then the other thing is I got a bunch of Brenda Gervais with Dye Needle and Thread. She's probably one of my absolute favorite designers. If you look at what I've stitched, Stacey Nash and Brenda Gervais are always on my list of things to stitch. But these are the ones that I got new in my shop. Patriotic Poppies. Autumn in Baltimore, which I love that. She has a series of these baskets with the instructions, and I want to finish those. The Cat in the Moon. This is another series she has out. I love him. Basket Full of Autumn Time. Another series. Love those seasonal series. That's so cute. And then Bittersweet and Broomsticks. And this goes, it reminds me of October 31st, but it also reminds me of Witch's Night Out. But those are great colors. So all of those are available in my shop if you're interested in those. And then also they're in my stash for me to start. I think I've run out of all of my stitching things to show you. I do have a couple of other things I want to share. Number one is I won a giveaway, and that was from Cheryl McKinney from Tranquil Stitches, and she was doing a giveaway for this little keychain, and she gave us a link to where we can go and get a QR code, cross-stitch QR code that fits in here, and I'm going to make this for my husband for Christmas. And with that, she also sent me, she calls these zipper finders if you put them on your project bags. But you can also clip them onto your scissors. But I just think that is so cute. So thank you. And she sent me a couple of other things and a really nice card. So thank you very much, Cheryl. That made my day. The other thing I want to talk about is food. I love food. I do the foodimentary thing that I've talked about before. Today's Welsh Rabbit Day. So yesterday was grits for breakfast day, which I love grits. And if you follow me on Instagram, you see my picture every day. Some people ask me if I eat all of these things. I do eat most of these things. I've been on a diet for the past 2 weeks, so some of the things I haven't been able to eat, so my sons eat them for me. But I still prepare them or get them otherwise. I really wanted to eat them, but I'm trying to be good. I'm going to eat the Welsh Rabbit today. Let's see. I ate the grits yesterday. The other thing is, on this diet, it's fairly restrictive, but I like that kind of thing. I know it sounds crazy, but I love to follow a plan. Give me a diet plan and I'll follow it. And so I've been pretty good. And the things that I miss are crunchy things. I like crunchy things, and you can't have bread on this diet, which is okay. I don't think I should be eating bread anyway. I'm not. My dad has celiac. My grandmother probably had celiac. I probably have it, but we'll see. And the other thing is sodas. I like Diet Dr. Pepper. I don't drink a lot of it. And I'm not addicted to it. I don't have an addictive personality, or I don't have the kind of genetics of addiction apparently. So I can give up things pretty quickly. It doesn't bother me, but I have an obsessive personality. But I do miss those sodas. Yeah, just something different. So my friend Lisha introduced me to LaCroix, which I'm like, okay. So LaCroix is essentially, it's just sparkling water that has a little bit of flavor. And these are allowed on my diet. So thanks to Lisha, I've been drinking some of these. We actually found them coming back from a retreat at a Big Lots and found, a really good deal. So Big Lots, you can get these pretty cheap. And my favorite are passion fruit. And my absolute favorite is coconut, which I bought about 4 cases of that to keep in my office. I love the coconut. And then I found these yesterday at our Walmart. It's pineapple strawberry. So I feel like I'm being so healthy drinking these. And the other thing that I have found this past weekend are these, Larabar. They're made up of dates and something else. So this has cashews and dates, which I love dates. I bought a bag of dates at Whole Foods the other day, and I've almost eaten all of them. So that's easy. Love these things. And I bought coconut cream pie and lemon pie were the other versions of this I bought. So if you have any suggestions of these types of, healthy foods, just let me know. Let's see. Is there anything else? I think that's it. There's one more thing I want to share, and I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay. The other thing I want to share is a giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway in a while, so my giveaway this time is to celebrate the end of the summer. I had a very good summer. A lot of it had to do with my involvement with cross-stitching and the Flosstube community, and I just want to kind of celebrate that and do a giveaway. And what I'm going to include in my giveaway is this little trinket box, which is absolutely adorable. So that's part of it. This little sample pack of some silk floss. And because we all love floss, I'm going to include a set of the limited edition flosses that I released from Gentle Arts with my Hey Chickie chart. So a set of those 3. And then the winner, I'll get in contact with whoever the winner is, and I'm going to include 10 other flosses, whether it's Gentle Arts, Weeks Dye Works, or Crescent Color. So they can select 10 other flosses from those 3 producers. So that's going to be the giveaway. Now, what I want you to do in your comment is to tell me what is your favorite floss color. So that will be kind of the key to know that you're entering the giveaway. So what is your favorite floss color? And don't say giveaway. You have to be 18 or older, and I'll mail anywhere in the world. So this is open to everyone that's 18 or older. Okay? So I will kind of, let's see, I'll close out the giveaway on September 13th, which is my aunt's birthday, my Aunt Carolyn's birthday. She'll be 75. She's admitting she's old now. So that will be the close date of the giveaway. So again, if you're interested in the giveaway, what's your favorite floss color? Leave a comment below. Please subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you're interested in the giveaway. Again, I know it's been a while, but I've so enjoyed all the Flosstube videos. I've been watching a lot of them. I'm getting better at leaving comments, but I need to be even better than that. There's lots of new ones out there commenting, and lots of new ones releasing videos. So one day I'll have to give a list of some of my Flosstube favorites, which would take about 2 hours to do because I love all the Flosstube videos. Hopefully I'll have a video. I'll record another video in a couple of weeks. This semester is going to be crazy, but I think I've got my Fridays free, so that's going to be my time to do videos. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thank you.